Okay, Diane.
Good evening. I have the pleasure of introducing my husband, Duane Long. Duane is a 27-year member of the Kernersville Rotary Club. He's a past president. He has been, tonight he will talk about RYLA. He's been active with them, I believe he told me, over 20 years. He does a lot of different things in Rotary. Anytime there's something in the community, he's there. He's also right now chairman of the foundation, the Kernersville Foundation, which is composed of all past Rotary presidents, and a person in the community that supports many nonprofits. Duane is also CFO of Long Insurance Services, and most especially, he's the daddy to Dickens and my husband of 6.5 years.
That got recorded. Okay.
It did get recorded.
Yeah. You couldn't hear it, but when you said you were going to record it, I turned to her. I said, "Keep it clean." Okay. Just keep.
Well, she did.
She did. That's great. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight, and I know many of you, and it's a pleasure to work with you when that opportunity arises too. And when I get the Rotarian magazine, probably like you, one of the first places I want to look inside it is that folded double page, left and right, that shows what projects are going on in the world. Because out of that comes ideas. You can see what someone's doing in India, or as Ray mentioned, with a tree in the Philippines, but you get a world view of what the opportunities and the ideas are surrounding Rotary projects. We have several here in Kernersville unique to us, or at least we think they are, and you have yours unique. But one I want to speak to you about tonight is the Rotary Youth Leadership Academy. Diane sent out, I think, the full week agenda that we use that you feel free to reference and feel free to ask questions on. But this project started by one of our members, Arnold King. Some of you may have known Arnold, but he was a past district governor. He passed away in 2019, but Arnold was remarkable in the fact that he was one of those folks that could come up with a good idea, but he could also execute it. He could make it happen. This Rotary Youth Leadership Academy is modeled after the leadership academies that many chambers of commerce put on in various places, where they'll bring together a group of leaders or potential leaders of a community. And through a period of 9 months is what they do around here. They'll take them through steps of introducing them to different facets of the community. Well, Arnold created that for the Kernersville Chamber of Commerce. And out of that came his idea for this, to do it with high school students, to take them a week during the summer and put them through some program similar to the Adult Leadership Academy. In Kernersville, we have 3 high schools. We have Bishop McGinnis High School, which is a very well-placed Catholic school. And they don't need our help like some of the public schools do. So we have actually centered on 2 high schools to do this program with every summer. East Forsyth High School and Glenn High School, which are the public schools in the area. And from that, we get with the guidance counselors in the spring and ask each school to nominate 12 students. 12 students who would have interest in this. Of course, they have to buy into it, but also they look at it, the students do, as a resume builder, something to put on the resume for college to go into it. We will get 24 nominees, 12 from each school. And by the time we get to the program during the summer, even though we had 24 commit, we might only have 19. This past time we had 13 because those kids get tied up with things they didn't have on their schedule to start with, vacations and such. But the group we take, we put them through this 5-week program. In the beginning of the packet, we explained to them very carefully that we expect them to be there at 9 a.m. of the 5 mornings, Monday through Friday. We tell them what the dress code is. No jeans, shorts, t-shirts, khakis and dress slacks are appropriate. So there is a dress code for the week.
Good to go.
They
Yes.
always, what's that?
Oh,
I don't know. Can they not hear you?
Can you not hear me?
we can hear you. That was Kay was just, I think, transitioning to her vehicle, so I muted her.
Ah, sorry about that.
My apologies.
And if you get a chance to look inside the schedule sent out to you, they wear their name badges every day except when we tour the county jail. That's one necessity in this whole thing. We asked them to stay the whole day to make all 5 days to get credit for having completed this. And we also asked them to stay with us for the whole day through 4 o'clock. Like all these things with kids, we also tell them to mute their cell phones, get those out of the way. We explain to them what Rotary's about, because we're hoping somewhere down the road, these high schoolers will become career people and be interested in Rotary and join Rotary. So we go through the explanation of what Rotary's about in a very brief form. Then we tell them the projects that Kernersville Rotary Club does. And there's a lot of those things. This is one of them, but the Kernersville Foundation was founded out of the Kernersville Rotary Club. There's a scholastic banquet, a leadership camp for the district that's put on in Greensboro. Kernersville Little League was sponsor a shadow day where we allow high school students to shadow someone in a professional career to see what their daily activities are like. We sponsor the Kernersville Farmers Market, which we help build and develop in conjunction with the town of Kernersville. But we also man that through the growing season 2 days a week, on Wednesdays in the morning and on Saturdays in the morning. So we're active with that project, even though we have built with the town of Kernersville the market itself. When we go to Monday, all 5 of our days have unique facets of learning. On Monday, we go through leadership. And when we do these days, we get anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5 Rotarians to take that day. One of the Rotarians will chair that day. And that Rotarian group is responsible for lining up speakers, spaces, bus service when they travel from point to point, food for the day, refreshments for the day. In other words, to turnkey that. Our chair for the event will get from each of the chairs of the 5 days an itinerary, and we'll put that into a master book, which is what you were sent for the week. But to give you an idea on Leadership Day, it begins at 9 o'clock. One of our past members of the club, Deb Fletcher, does a session on strength finders for students. We have lunch. We have a speaker that some of you have met at district conference, Brianna Alpaca, who was from South America, who came here and has been a recipient of scholarships from several sources within Rotary here. And we'll do a team building exercise in conjunction with the Kernersville YMCA. When we go through these days, and the students meet back at 3:30 or 4:30 or so, 3:30 or 3:45 actually, they will fill out a evaluation of the day. Each of the students will fill it out. They'll turn it in to the overall chair of this event, and we will track what facets of each day has done well to them and what has not, so that we can modify this next year to be more appropriate if there's something that's out of favor. We meet, have for the past several years, in the Kernersville Police Department. They've got a meeting room there. And I see, Michael, I see your reaction to that. Yeah, the point's not to scare them into good behavior. The point is to have a meeting place that we can work out of that's central. And the police department has been very accommodating for that. So they'll go through that leadership day and evaluate it. Then on Tuesday morning, they come back. The Tuesday morning day is History Day. Kernersville was founded 1700s or so, technically. It was incorporated later than that. But we have several historical places around town. The first and foremost is something called Kerner's Folly. Kerner's Folly is a house that was built in 1880. And we'll take the students through that in addition to many other things around town. We actually visit cemeteries. There's a lot of history there. We've got 2 cemeteries we visit in Kernersville. One of them is St. Paul's Cemetery. Its history is that it's the original Black cemetery in Kernersville. And it started, if you go to the back of it, you'll find just a few stones. People were so poor they had no way to mark their graves. And it's been taken on by the community in many ways. Some of the Interact clubs have helped with that cemetery by scheduling a day for cleanup as one of the projects. But we'll go to that cemetery and the students will actually walk, view the headstones that are information contained, and look at what happened with the progression of time with that. Kernersville has had some people who came through on the trains in the early days that passed away and they didn't know their name, okay? Didn't know their family or anything, and there are a few of those buried back in there too, but it's historical. The second cemetery we go to is the Moravian Church in Kernersville, and its cemetery has significance with the history. The builder of Kerner's Folly was a guy named Jules Kerner, and his family built that in 1880, and going forward they had children. But they had a housemaid for the children named Aunt Dealey, and she was a former slave. And they just loved her dearly. Dearly, you can think of it that way. But when she passed away in the later 1800s, Jules had donated the land for the Moravian Church, and the family went to bury her in the Moravian Cemetery. And because of the segregation of that day, the church would not allow it. So Jewel, not to be denied, went to the very back edge of the cemetery and at great expense bought a small parcel of land. And he buried Aunt Dealey right there, right at the border of the cemetery. And from that day forward, that's where his family was buried with her. And so we talked to the students about that and the transition of time and how things have evolved with the history of it. We get back at 4 o'clock in the afternoon from walking cemeteries and seeing houses. And they do the same evaluation process that happened with all the other days. The third day is law enforcement. This is a very interesting day. They start at the police department, they continue at the police department, and they have several detectives and officers that come through and do demos. For instance, this past time we had a canine demo. They could see what working with a dog would do. But at 11:15, they depart to the Forsyth County Jail, which is a significant operation. You may recall earlier I said they wear their name badges except when they're in the jail, because they're in the area where inmates are present, traveling cell blocks that are occupied. That day, they will also be served lunch at the jail, and they will eat the same food that the inmates are served. Some of the students refuse to eat it. They won't do it. In the early 2000s, when I did this, they served bologna sandwiches, well, with mayonnaise. Now, me and maybe 3 others out of 20 ate those, but I grew up on bologna. I like bologna. And so I think even one of the other students gave me theirs. Okay. But it's a real taste of that. When they see the people incarcerated there, there's a little bit of a wake up as to what really goes on in these places. They're safe all the time, but they do not want to be identified. And we're very careful with the women that day, the ladies. We ask them not to wear skirts. Okay, we ask them to wear slacks, to dress like the guys, the best they can to get through that. So we go to Thursday. If the page will let loose, that's our government day. We happen to have as one of the members of our club a gentleman named Curtis Swisher, who's the town manager. And he can make this day happen because he runs all of it. He controls it. We also have the mayor come in and speak with the students. We do Kernersville facts and figures about the demographics of the town, its population, how it's spread, how things are controlled. Then we even go to the fire department. Kids climb over trucks. They ask questions. They look at the equipment. They talk to these people. They find out what they have to do for PT. All of that stuff. From there to Parks and Recreation. From there back to Town Hall. And they do a planning exercise with our town planner, where they sit down and figure out the ins and outs of what's got to happen to make something conform to the policies of the town in terms of development. Then they come back and do it again. So we've gone through 4 days with you now. I'm going to go to the fifth one, which is a leadership day. So turn loose. There it is, almost. This day ranks the highest of all the 5. We have Rotarians that have done this time and time and time again. They know what makes it work. They go to the first session with Mark Peck, an attorney who's with a large firm in Winston-Salem but lives in Kernersville with us. And he will talk to them about the global village of people. Then Chris Booth, who's a pastor and a former executive director of Kernersville YMCA, will talk about what is your why. Pete Kunkel, a well-known pastor, talks about the world around us. And then we have at 11 o'clock, General J.R. Gorham. J.R. Gorham was the first Black brigadier general with the Army Reserve in North Carolina, as he was a member of our Rotary Club. He just came through election for his 3rd term for alderman and was the top vote getter of all those running for alderman, which means that if he wishes, he would be mayor pro tem for the town. But he speaks with conviction. He lived a hard life growing up, a sharecropper son who made himself successful. And they are intrigued by that. We come into the other parts down through there, all by community leaders. And when that day is over, those kids will mark this the highest, as I said, because they're so inspired by those people. This brings us to the last day. If you add up the people that are involved in this project, it's pretty significant. We've probably got 25 Rotarians making this happen, along with all the invited guests, along with coordinating all the locations and the transportation and everything else that goes with it. But we're pretty proud of this project, and we've done it every year for 26 years. It's had its switches and changes and turns in there, but we're going to do it again. We'll do it again. Are there any questions I can answer for you?
I have a question. Do you have the students come back and speak to your club about the impact this program has on their lives?
We don't, but we get cards from them.
Okay.
Okay. Every year, if we've got 20 students, we'll get 2 cards talking about how much they enjoyed it. We have a few of the students, and these are all rising juniors and rising seniors, that want to come do it again. Well, we can't do that because they'd be taking someone else who's fresh to it, their spot. So we just don't allow that.
This is
Any
a
other
wonderful
questions?
program.
Thank you. We're proud of it.
It is. It is a wonderful program, and it's so unique to this community.
We don't know of another. Hey.
Duane, so the students, and I might have missed this at the very beginning, but you have X number of students and you can take how many per year that you do this with, and they have to apply. I can't remember what you did there.
We can take up to 24. We can accommodate that many, 12 from each of 2 schools. And they do have to apply, but they apply through their guidance counselors. The guidance counselors know that we're looking for students who have potential leadership qualities, okay, who are in good standing in the school. We're not looking for the top 10 academics. We're looking for kids that want to go through and learn something about the community.
Nice.
And we trust those guidance counselors because they're screening the students for us as they send the applications to us.
So the guidance counselors actually are the ones that are really recommending. It's not the students saying, I want necessarily to do this. They wouldn't find out about it unless the guidance counselor informed them of it, or how would that work?
It's done 2 ways to my knowledge in the school, and I'm not privy to all the details there, but I think the guidance counselors post that this is a summertime opportunity. And then the students apply, and the guidance counselor knows the qualities that student should have to do this. For instance, they have to be able to get there every day,
Right,
uh,
right.
in addition to having a desire to be in the course, and have to have someone come pick them up or have their own license, driver's license, to be able to drive away at the end of the day, because they're responsible for getting there and leaving. Yeah. Did I answer your question, Kathy?
Yeah. No, I'm just curious about how the students are selected and so forth. So sounds like
Yeah.
a great program, really. It really does.
We like to do it. And part of what happens when we do it too, we meet these kids and we're in awe of what they do, how they do it, how they use their time, what they're learning that when we were kids, we never learned. And they're just so far ahead in the game. It'll give you hope for the next generation.
Yes.
So
yes.
the kids that come are truly like interested and, focused and all that, or, the whole time that they're in the program.
They are. During the day, we are with them constantly. So we are policing that they're not on their cell phones walking off in a corner somewhere. The things we have learned is that when you've got 16 and 17-year-olds, they don't like to sit and be lectured so much, that they need to move around and do things. The exception is our leadership day, when those speakers are so dynamic, they would keep them entranced without moving around. But on history day, we're moving them from point to point to point to point. Even in the Folly, we're having them do a scavenger hunt where they divide up into teams and go run the house. There's 22 rooms. And they try to mark down on their sheets what room they found a certain clue to be appropriate to. But try to keep them active.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a great program.
Well, thank you. And every time I visit another Rotary Club or something, I'm always amazed at what they do. There's some creative thinkers in Rotary that come up with things like this, and the things you do. Same thing all the way around. Any other questions?
Sure. Was Ken Gamble involved in getting the site moved over to the jail?
Well, that happened before Ken, and it's continued with Ken's blessing and through Ken. Do you know Ken?
All right. Heck yeah.
Okay.
He was involved he was one of the three. Kate Ains, myself, and Ken were involved in creating this E-Club of Global Trekkers.
Ah, well, how's Ken? I don't see him often, but
He's in Moxville. Okay. His town manager of Moxville, last time I heard.
Wow. I had to run over and knock on his door and surprise him.
Yeah.
He was pleased.
Any other club in the district or elsewhere, even outside our district, copied this program?
They could have. I just don't know of them. They could very well have. Yeah. You sound like you know of one, which is good.
No, I don't, but I say it's worthy of copying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great program, and by the way, great talk.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Diane's been kind of hiding you, from us.
I'm just letting him do his thing, because I'm learning. I knew about it in bits and pieces, but tonight I got the whole story.
Ray, thank you for that, but I'll never rise to your level of tree planting expertise.
Oh,
yeah.
I got a video on that.
She got it documented. I was hoping to say something outrageous, like I went by there today and that thing's grown 6 inches. But that would be a fact.
How many trekkers does it take to plant one tree, huh?
It was fun.
It was.
Any other questions I might help with?
It was fun.
Okay. Well, thank you all very much. And I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you, and I appreciate what you do.
Thank you. And thank you for sending out your whole agenda, because, to Ray's point, it would be a very easy program well, not easy, but it would be a great program to emulate, say, for Guilford County or certainly our Burlington area. We have so many Rotarians, particularly in Guilford County. It would be nice. And I think it gives the students pride in their community to learn more about it. So,
it does.
And I know my internet is not stable right now, so I've lost you guys a couple of times. My apologies for that. So, um, thank you so much, Duane.
Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure to have you speak with us. And also, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting the endeavors of our club. I know you're related to our club in one way at least, but we appreciate you supporting us. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm gonna leave the meeting and let y'all finish.
We'll let him go change clothes so he can have dinner as
Okay.
soon as we get off.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Well, do we have any? We have a few minutes. Let's see. Dave is saying today is Remembrance Day here in Australia. Yes, November 11th. And of course, Veterans Day here in the US. Well, his today, our tomorrow. So just remember that as well. And we have a few minutes here before it's time to do the four-way test. So does anybody have any discussion or any concerns, anything they'd like to bring up to the club?
You could do happy dollars. You got
We
plenty
could.
of time.
Okay.
We did. It was Ann Jones's arrival. It should
Well,
be
yeah,
called
that's a big one.
ecstatic dollars.
That's a big one.
That is one. But does anybody have any happy dollars? Ray is right. We do have some time. Florence?
My happy dollar is we had 14 plus students from my Interact and 8 adults helping to plant trees and clean trails. And I have to blur some of the faces before I send them up and post them. They had a fantastic time, and it rained the last 20 minutes of our day. The kids didn't get sick. I caught a cold. But anyhow, but to cap it all off, at the end of the day, there was a beautiful rainbow. It was a perfect complete rainbow that came out. So that made it really, really wonderful. And the kids loved it. They had a fantastic time. So they've been telling all their friends.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of that. And is that at one of the school, is that at the school you teach at or taught at?
It's I'm one of the advisors for my Interact Club, but we are sponsored by the local Rotary Club here. And so we also have one of the parents who is acting as another advisor, does graphic design work. So my students are also creating their own logo that they're going to put on the t-shirts with the Rotary four-way test on the back. And so they're going to do that, and they're going to do some fundraising. So it's all good.
Wow, they're very active. Thank you for sharing. Okay, anybody else have a happy dollar? Ray?
Yes, I got finally this week. I got the checks from our district grant to the 2 food pantries in Stokes County. What's happened in both food pantries is that they have increased enrollment. And the other thing is they do get supplies from a food bank that's located in Winston-Salem. At the food bank, when they can access it, they can buy fresh hamburger at 25 cents a pound. So, great deal. But the food pantry located in Winston-Salem is also servicing the disaster that happened out in the mountains with Hurricane Helene. Trouble still continues out there. So there still is a need out there. And so, many are pitching in. But the money that we gave to our 2 Stokes County food pantries was very well appreciated, and it was a timely giving that we did for them.
Thank you, Ray.
They also support our food pantry, and this last week, for the first time, we got very little, but they do what they can, and he's right. If they have something, you can order occasionally for pennies on the dollar, we call it. And yesterday I told Ray we are very blessed right now in Kernersville. We are finally on the map after 6 years, but I know that will mean a lot to those areas, that we support them.
Yes, and Ray, thank you for doing that earlier than we normally are able to distribute those funds. Thank you.
It's a very crucial time right now. I'm not out and about at all, but I see it and I hear it in the neighborhood here in northern Stokes County. So I just appreciate you all continuing that so much. I know it's all over. It's countrywide. It's worldwide right now, but in our local areas, it's a very crucial time. So thank you for all that you did to get to those food pantries. I know it does mean a lot to them.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Any other happy dollars?
Well, as you know, Andrea, I went and had the first of my 3 polio vaccinations as part of my permanent residency application. In America, they require all aliens to have 3 injections, not just 1 when you're little. You got to have 3 injections. And I think what it is when you get to a certain, like maybe the 2nd injection, you start singing the Star Spangled Banner. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Watch this space. Luckily, I know the chords on the piano and I know all the words. But I'm really excited because I found a lovely doctor. There's only 3 in upstate New York that do this special thing for the American government. And I found a lovely doctor who, instead of charging me a couple of $100 to get my injections, he sent me down to the local regional health department and they jabbed me for free. So God bless America. And
right.
I'm very excited by it. And I'm very, very excited that Ann Jones is back in that little tiny square there, because we've missed you so much, Ann. And the food pantries that we continue to do in Walnut Cove, Stokes County, they're all in your honor. The 4-way test speech contest among the high school students, the graduating seniors, it's all done in your honor, Anne, of what you've brought to Rotary and to Global Trekkers in particular. And I can't tell you how joyful I feel seeing you back in that box, in that little Brady Bunch screen.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Kay. That's lovely. Anyone else?
My happy dollars for the tree that got planted yesterday.
That was fun. Yes, that was a lot.
And thank you to Cookie, who took a lot of pictures, and we got to visit with her. And we got to have dinner thanks to Ray, and we'll see you again on Thursday night for dinner.
That's right. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
That's my happy dollar. I've got a new dress.
Well, we will look forward to that.
Dress for these events.
It's fun.
It's a good excuse.
It is a good excuse. Okay. Any other happy dollars or words of wisdom? Okay. Well, Michael, I think I will hand the meeting to you and let you do the 4-way test with us.
I'd be happy to. Can I share my screen?
Of course you can.
Thanks.
I can stop the recording. Let me do that.